Tuesday, Public Safety and Justice Affairs. Welcome everyone that's here. Janine, roll call, please.
Calling the roll, Mr. Gallagher,
Here.
Ms. Baker.
Here.
Mr. Tuma.
Here.
Mr. Harrison. Ms. Conwell.
Here.
There is a quorum. Also like the record to reflect that Councilman Miller is in attendance.
Welcome, Mr. Miller, and President Brady in the back there. In your packet, you have the minutes of the July 11th meeting. If they're in order, I'll accept the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Thank you. Resolution 2017-0131.
Resolution number 2017-0131, authorizing a contract with Court Community Service in the amount not to exceed $555,000 for the Community Works Service Placement and Supervision Program for the period 1/1/2018 through 12/31/2020.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, councilpersons. Marty Murphy for the Corrections Planning Board. The item in front of you is a 3-year contract.
Do you have the mic on?
Is a 3-year contract with Court Community Work Services. Court Community Services has been working with the court since 1988. What they do is they were founded to do referrals into the community and do community service hours. They do hundreds of hours annually with charities and with municipalities, collecting litter from public roads, properties in Cuyahoga County, scrap tires, and assisting with both mowing of lawns and snow removal for senior citizens. The dollar amount of the contract has not changed in over a decade. The total amount of the proposed award is $555,000 for the 3-year period.
Thank you. Questions? Yes, ma'am.
To the chair, to Mr. Murphy, how was the dollar amount determined for the contract?
The original dollar amount was a negotiated amount back in the early 2000s. It has not changed since then. And what it does is it incorporates the cost of providing all the equipment and materials, the supervisors 7 days a week, the vans and so forth associated with the service.
Okay, that includes gasoline, maintenance of the vans?
Everything.
And is it Court Community Service, this is the same program that was initiated or founded by Judge Adrian, Ron Adrian? Or he had something to...
He may have, I'm not sure. It was originally founded in like 1984, that the Common Police Court started using them in 88.
Okay, 'cause the only reason I say is because I received a letter some months ago from Court Community Service, and they wanted anyone that had utilized throughout their district or to give kind of like, I don't know, a farewell or appreciative of how this the service worked for their community. I don't know, and Judge Adrian's name was mentioned, so I guess
I wouldn't
due
be
to
su-
his
I wouldn't be
retirement or something,
surprised.
that's why. And I'm trying to find that letter, but I do know who to reach out to. So, okay.
Anything further? Mr. Miller?
Is the $555,000 the full cost of the program, or are there other funding sources?
There are other funding sources to the program. This is our piece of the program. They actually, with the court, they accept anybody we refer regardless of the number, and they usually bill out our funding by October or November of the year. They continue to operate though even through the year. We actually talked to them about changing the contract because they've been basically losing a month or two of funding on it for the last 3 years. They said they were comfortable with how it was set up with their other funding streams.
Do you have any idea of how much additional funding there is?
I don't, Councilman, and I'm sure it's variable year to year.
Okay, thank you.
Anything further? Yes, ma'am.
I'm not familiar with the program, so I would just ask, what is the eligible offenders? What makes them eligible and what's the criteria?
Sure. Councilman, they are court-referred felony offenders for our contract. And they are referred to this program when they have fees and/or costs that they are unable to repay that are associated with their court appearance. And they do work those costs down through this process. Then Court Community Service gives us a detailed printout with the number of hours everybody works every month.
Just a follow-up, is there any time that is deducted from their sentence for?
It's not related to sentence, it's related to the costs associated with the process. So it's fines and fees, and they are required to pay those or take care of it in an alternative way.
Thank you.
Okay. Looking at the dates, I don't see a time problem, so you don't have a problem with us going through the 3 readings, I would assume?
Not at all.
Okay, thank you. If we find this in order and the committee's agreeable, I'll accept a motion for Resolution 2017-0131 for second reading.
So moved.
Second. Favor? Aye. Against? Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Resolution 2017-0132.
Resolution number 2017-0132, making an award on requisition number 39002 to Esposito Mortuary Services in the amount not to exceed $1,710,000 for body transportation services for the period 8/1/2017 through 7/31/2020.
Mr. Bova.
Chairman, council, I'm standing here a little embarrassed. I was just notified that Hugh Shannon's father passed away.
Right.
That's why he's not here. And Brandy's out in the hallway right now trying to get exactly, I'm pretty sure this is a continuation of Esposito has
This
been.
is. As a matter of fact, I was wondering why Mr. Jones wasn't here, because last time we renewed this, he took us through
Correct.
the process and the service that is provided, which actually, from the last time we heard this, the cost is pretty reasonable considering the services provided. So I don't know if anybody.
Correct. I don't think there's anything new other than the contract, so.
Right, and Mr. Jones being in the business really went through it with us the last time through. So if I think there's any further questions with council members, I think Mr. Jones can not only take you through that, but verify the folks that we use are really exceptional for what they do.
Yeah.
Are there further questions on this contract? It is a renewal from, and I believe the service provider is the same.
That's
one,
correct.
if I remember correctly.
That's my recollection too.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
Through the chair to Mr. Bova. So the body transportation is countywide,
That's correct.
so we're picking up from different municipalities?
We're picking up,
If there's a body?
if there's a body and it's deemed to be going to the coroner's office, they transport. And usually funeral homes pick up from there, but if it's needed, they will transport to the funeral homes after the autopsy.
Okay. And is this an agreement or is this a state statute that we have to do this?
There is a state statute that any time that there is a unnatural cause and a doctor's not going to sign off and they have to go to the coroner's office, we assume the responsibility. And I know from my discussions with Dr. Gilson that if it's an unnatural death or there's no explanation, he usually likes to, they come and pick it up to secure whatever evidence they may need.
Because I thought it was a law that everybody that died has to go through an autopsy.
Not everybody. If they're under doctor's care, they do not have to.
Gotcha.
And a doctor would sign off on them.
Okay. So these are basically for fatalities,
That's
homicides?
correct. And the heroin overdoses and stuff like that.
Everything. Anything further? Yes, Mr. Miller.
Was this contract put out for bid?
I cannot stand here and say that, but I'm sure it was. I know it's a continuation. I don't have those facts, and that's what I'm embarrassed about, so because I realized that you wasn't coming in today because of his father's passing. So I could find that out for you before the day's over.
That'd be fine.
Anything further? I see a time of August 1st, which kind of toes the line as far as when this runs out, right? Does anyone have any concerns with moving this forward on an emergency basis? In that manner, I'll accept a motion for resolution 2017-0132 to the full council under second reading suspension.
I'll make that motion. Try to make that motion, second reading suspension.
All in favor? Aye.
Chair, can we say if that's depending on if they, because it's a 3-year contract, if that determines if they bid it out or not?
I can't say if they did or not, but I would pretty much guarantee that they did. The discussion I think that followed from the last time, if my memory serves, was Esposito might have been the only one that bid on it. There might have been someone else, but again, Mr. Jones was here at that time and took us through the services of Esposito, and I can ask him also.
I'm hoping to have an answer for that in the next half hour. So.
If we could get that, that would
I will.
be great.
Okay.
Okay. Again, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Other public comment?
Yes, Rico Dancy.
Mr. Dancy, welcome.
I just got off the phone with a call, the National Wrong of Eviction on people is National Wrong of Eviction on deaf people, on deaf individual. They wonder, do the county have a program like a TTY or a video phone in their jails? How do the county jails communicate with people with mental health and deaf? We know the county just passed the Text 911. We are so happy about that. Now we're doing it Ohio-wide. And I sit on the chairman, I'm one of the chairmen of the national, I sit on 3 organizations, and we are wondering, if they deal with mental health or deaf people, do they have a TTY? Or some of the DC took away the TTY machine and replaced it with a video phone. Sit in the jail. If they cannot get an interpreter, they will have a live stream interpreter on a TV. They have 3 companies out here. One called Sorensen, another one called Purple, and another called ZVRS. Most jails would not provide that service. And then when we get the call, we got to argue with the jail administrator. Why did that? Why it was no training, light training, or disability or deafness? If it's not an interpreter, if y'all call the interpreter, it was not available, do y'all have a backup plan? See, the backup plan with Akron, they have the Purple video for in the county jail. The backup plan, if they can get a live interpreter, they have the Purple, the live screen interpreter. And that's where we are asking. Because I'm sitting on the committee, and tomorrow we have another committee on live screen on our cell phones and find out they asked me, what's the next step to do? Until I hear back from the county, I'm going to have to put a hold on them until I find out what the next step can y'all do on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anything further? Yes, Chair.
Chairman of Council, I just hung up with Dr. Gilson, and it was bidded out, and they were the only bidders, so you were correct.
I kinda
So I just want to
remember
confirm that for you.
Wow, in my advanced stage, things are still clicking.
Yep, still got it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I think we are adjourned.